Welcome to Nugget 180 with Steve Groman, and today we will be visiting with Joel White. Joel White is one of the most interesting people you will ever meet. He is one of the most kind, most giving Christian that we know. We've known him for almost as long as David Clifford, the gentleman that we did the Cog Railway interviews with. They're wonderful friends of ours here in the North Country.
First time we met him or saw him, he violated our toll driveway.
That's right.
He didn't realize it was a toll.
He didn't realize it was a toll.
Tell him what we were told about.
Kind of a long story. After we bought our house, the fellow said, oh, by the way, there's somebody on the other side of the mountain, blah, blah, blah. And he said he's going to ski and or sled over the mountain in the wintertime, right down by your living room window, move over a little bit, go down the driveway, and he goes off into town that way. Sure enough, one morning we're sitting there and
we're eating pancake breakfast.
We're having pancake breakfast and whoosh, here's this guy sledding right up by the window.
He sleds right by the window.
And so I put a sign and said, toll driveway, right in the middle of the driveway. He didn't pay.
And I would have if I had the quarter on me. And I was looking for one, but I didn't have a quarter on me.
It was funny, but we've been friends ever since, so it's been a long time ago.
And Joel does a lot of different interesting things, and we're going to get into that. But one of the most interesting things is his love of history and of the North Country. So Joel, why don't you tell us just about your scouting around and what all you've seen? And I know you've taken us to mines and to cellars and to apple orchards on top of mountains and burial grounds and all kinds of crazy things.
And it's all bushwhacking stuff. It's off the beaten path.
Yes.
No sissy trails here.
No.
Well, it started when I was younger, and my parents weren't really taking us anywhere, and I was interested in seeing this stuff. A lot of my friends just sat around. I would go out and explore, and I would drag them out with me because they were just couch potatoes. And every time we got out there, they'd say how much fun it was and how neat it was, and I'd tell them, remember this next time I ask you to go somewhere, and you're saying you're too busy. We went through a lot of friends that way, wore them out, especially in the septic truck. I would stop.
Well, let's stop and tell him why you were in a septic tank truck. That's the business that he owned for how many years?
45 years.
45 years. He owned a septic tank business, and that is going to be featured in our next nugget.
So especially when coronavirus hit, everybody's talking about staying at home. I said, we're not staying at home. We went out and we hit 76 cellar holes.
Oh, wow.
To see their old barns, to see how big the cellar hole was, to see their old dumps, because everybody had their own dumps, the wells. It's real interesting to see where the wells were, how deep, how they were built.
Because even if the barn's gone, the house is gone, those things remain.
Yes.
The remnants of them, at least.
Yes, all the rock walls that were under them, holding them up for their foundations. A couple of cellar holes, we found the well was right in the cellar hole. So they didn't have to go out the doors to get water in the winter.
Oh, that's
So that was really neat.
Yeah.
One cellar hole Model T car upside down in the cellar hole. So that was kind of neat to run across something like that.
Let's tell people what a cellar hole is, because we know, but maybe somebody doesn't know what that term even means.
Well, when you go down cellar in your house, if you've got a cellar.
Or a basement.
When your house is gone or burnt, or it's 200 years old, just the cellar hole is left there. And the old ones are all built with rocks. No cement. So if you see any cement cellar hole, it's too new. We like the old ones.
Yeah.
A couple things that were really odd was a couple of cellar holes around here that were built with slate ledge.
Oh, neat.
That's real thin.
A bunch of them are built with big stones, right?
Yes.
They're just stones off the land.
Yep.
They pile them up and...
Just like a rock wall.
Rock wall, yeah.
And some were chiseled or drilled.
How did you stumble across 76 or whatever number you said there?
Being in the septic truck. I could not stand just working all day and letting life go by.
Yeah.
And so whoever's with me in the truck, it makes it real exciting for them to ride around with me. They're not getting paid. We had so much fun that my friends would just go with me to have fun. So cool. We'd stop.
And of course, you'd use them to help you from time to time.
Oh, yes. Yeah. We'd throw a little bit of that in. We'd stop beside the road, see a cellar hole. You're up in the truck, so you can look in deep when the leaves aren't on the trees, and you can see them better.
You spotted them. And then is that when you started making the binder? Because we were over here the other day, and you showed us something that almost made me cry. You had a big binder, and in it you had all these places that you had visited, all the different...
You had hand-drawn maps and such.
Hand-drawn maps.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And that was a big thing. A lot of times people are giving you directions. Like I'm in the business, the septic truck again. They give you terrible directions.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't even know the color of their house. They're on the phone. You say, what color's your house? Just a minute. And you hear the door bang. They go out and look. They don't know. And they come in and then they tell you. And the ones that didn't do that got the color of the house wrong.
Which side
That's
are you talking
funny.
about, right? Which side of the house?
Yeah, right, yeah, which side?
That's funny.
All 3 different colors. So because of seeing the cellar holes and me remembering or stopping with my friends and going in and checking them out. Now then the coronavirus hit and we've been retired for 3 years. I can take Bonnie out with me. I can show her now all these cellar holes that I stopped and looked at long time ago.
Long time ago.
So the maps and the things that you showed us the other day, had you drawn those years ago, or is this something that you did as this COVID project, so to speak?
Some of the things, not so much with the cellar holes, but with caves and cliffs or mines or things, old railroad beds and things. And I had them curled up in a cardboard tube. To try to find them again, to go see them and have a map.
Wasn't very organized.
No, it was horrible. So Bonnie said, let's take them all out, get them in a folder so we can get to them quick and easy since we're going to see all this stuff now.
So she likes doing it.
Yeah, she loves it.
And
cool.
Bonnie's
That's
his
cool.
wife.
Yes.
And she was always a secretary, so she was always here at the house when I'm out there every day, riding around the whole North Country. It was fun for me. And
Well, let's talk about the different mines that you've taken us to. One was a nickel and what?
nickel mine, a copper mine, a gold mine. Not all of them I took you to, but
Right, but
we still got more to go see.
But you did take us
Yes,
to a nickel
we've
mine.
been to some of them.
Yes.
And a copper
And a
mine.
copper
Right.
mine.
That was amazing. And we snowshoed to one of them, and that was a lot of fun. In addition to taking us to some cellars and some mines, you've also taken us to some beautiful views. And you mentioned getting married on Mount Willard. We've been to Mount Willard several times, but we haven't gone with you, but you've taken us to some other amazing views of the North Country.
You wrote a book recently. It's out like really current right now.
Here right now.
We went to the front cover just today.
Yes.
It's a beautiful front cover. You took us out on a hike to see the overview where that picture was actually taken. And it's exciting to get it, no doubt.
Yeah, anybody wants to know what's coming, the Bible says exactly what's coming in what order. And the scrolls that come with it, and they're none like anybody's ever seen before.
That is a true statement.
Like most authors, it's a total labor of love, wasn't it, Joel?
24 years.
Finally get it.
Oh.
And you gave us one of the first ones, and we
One of
treasure
the
that.
very first ones. But North Country has a lot to offer if you're into outdoors.
Exactly. And the views, of course. It's the mini Swiss Alps. And that's why I loved it so much living here, because it changes so much from each 4 seasons. So you've got all the colors. Everything is so different. It keeps changing. I couldn't live in a place where it's the same all the
Yeah.
time.
Even the greens.
Well, I know that this is the way that Paul, our son, explains New Hampshire. He says it's like living in a puzzle.
Oh, that's
what
pretty
he's-
neat.
It looks like a puzzle, doesn't it, sometimes?
So the ledges we went to was Whitefield Ledges. Been going there since I was young and dragging my friends out.
We've been up here 26, almost 27 years. We never knew that place was there.
Yeah, and it's such a little short hike. I love it. Keeps life exciting.
Yes, it does.
And it reminds me of Prince. Let's tell him a little bit about Prince.
Prince first started when I was young, full-size collie. I was too young to teach him anything. I said from now on, my dogs are going to be smart. So I called them all Prince. And now we're up to Prince number 6. The second Prince was half collie, half beagle. So he was the best man at my wedding on Mount Willard in Crawford Notch. We took his paw, we put it on the ink pad, we put it on the paper afterwards where the best man's supposed to sign.
That's awesome.
He rides on the Harley with goggles.
With goggles.
On the gas
right in front
tank.
of you. Yeah, he was over
Prince
the other
goes
day.
He goes everywhere.
He goes everywhere.
Dunkin' Donuts, church.
Yes.
Everywhere with
Church
Joel.
every Sunday.
And he prays.
And he prays.
Just let people know.
And that's why he's allowed into the church. The second one, me and my wife went down to Georgia and we left him with my mother to babysit while we were gone. 2 weeks later, we come home. She had taught him how to pray. So we kept
She's
it
the one
going.
that taught him.
So
Okay.
Mom was the one that
Cool.
taught him that. You tell him to pray, he gets up on the chair, he puts his head down, and he stays there till you say amen, then he gets up. We kept it going with the other dogs. And then after Prince 2, they have all been Shetland sheepdogs, or the little Sheltie. And they've rode on the Harley on the gas tank and had goggles, built special goggles.
It is kind of weird to see a dog with goggles on. That doesn't mind them being on.
No.
I mean, even when he just walks around, if he's suited up for bike riding, he stays that way.
ready to go.
Yeah, it's funny.
And
He's a cutie. He's a trooper.
you
He's your
slow
pal.
down coming into town, he stands up so he can see other dogs and everything. And then when you get going out of town, he lays back down.
Hunkers down, ready
Yeah.
for the ride.
He doesn't have to lean. The bike does the leaning for him.
Yeah.
Everybody in the North Country knows Joel.
True.
And if you know Joel, you know Prince. And we were actually at a church service with Joel about a month back. As Joel was walking in with Prince decided to sit in the back of the church with us. And it was really kind
Flopped
of
right under
sweet.
my feet.
Yep.
Under
my mom's
under my
funeral.
legs. Yeah.
And he went right to you guys.
He did.
He didn't want to go to the front row.
Park it right here. So
Yeah.
there you go.
That was
So
really fun.
I think we can park it right here, but we want to encourage you to listen to the next nugget. You'll not want to miss that because we are wanting to interview different people that make America work. And behind the scenes people, no pun intended, Joel had a fabulous business up here in the North Country, and we're going to talk about that.
I think he would qualify as essential because
He is definitely,
yeah,
that was
definitely essential.
All right, well, thank you.